Hello, I'm going to cook a rhubarb pie. That is with puff pastry I'll be using, and the rhubarb is from the garden. I've got some brown sugar, brown cinnamon, brown cloves, some apples and tinned fruits. You can use cherries or any firm tinned fruits, because the sugar from the fruit juices, you use less sugar in the rhubarb, and it's quite nice, and I'll show you the next stage of cooking it. Okay, I'm going to peel the apple, because if you cook it with the skins will be a bit stringy, so I'm going to peel all the apples like this. And any eating apples would be nice, because the eating apples are sweet. The more fruits you have that's sweet, the less sugar you put into the rhubarb, because rhubarb needs a lot of sugar, a lot of sweet. One apple peeled. Now I'm going to cut it up. So what I'll do, I'll cut the apples up ready, like that. Not too thick, or else it'll be too much like an apple pie. Just cut it like that, and just. Yeah, that's about the right thickness. You don't want it any thinner, or else it gets all stewy. Okay, I'll get all the rest of the apples done. Okay, I've chopped the apples, roughly chopped the apples, and now I'm going to put it in a pot. Put it all in a pot, and then we shall start doing the rhubarb. So once this is in there, then I'll put that aside, and then I'll chop the rhubarb up. I'll just get the rhubarb. Okay, now we're going to chop the rhubarb up. Large knife. So let's get it to that thick length. Take those ends off. Just cut the rhubarb up to there, from there to there, and discard those. That's it. So make sure your rhubarb is well washed and dried. Right. Now I'm going to put the rhubarb in the pan with the apples. So the rhubarb is going in the pan with the pot with the apples. That's it. And now I'm going to open the tinned fruit. Right. This is the tin of fruit. So what I'm going to do is get the juice in there. Save the fruits to put into the baking tray just before we put it into the oven. And that's all in there. I'll keep the fruits aside, and next we put 4 ounces of brown sugar. That goes in there. Okay, just a pinch of cloves and a pinch of cinnamon. Just a pinch, because when we put it into the baking tray, we'll just sprinkle a little bit on the top. Right, the next stage is put it on the cooker, turn it up, and then turn it down to simmer, and keep checking it, because you've got to keep adding tiny little bit of water every stages, because it lets a lot of water out of rhubarb. So start off with a tiny little bit of water. With half a glass of water. Bring that to the boil and leave it simmer. And do check it every now and again, because it would need a little bit of water adding every now and again. I'll leave that to simmer until the rhubarb is soft, and I shall tell you how long this takes. Okay, this is exactly half an hour of cooking on a medium heat, and you see the apples are cooked and the rhubarb is cooked. See, even the whole bits of rhubarb, if I can get one, there's a whole rhubarb there, see? That's cooked, everything's cooked, there's a whole rhubarb, it's going right through. That's it. And that's just half a glass of water and the juice of the tin of fruit that I put in at the beginning. That's what, right, now what we'll do is we'll get a pastry ready, good to go. Oh, you've got to turn the oven on to warm it. Okay, so we turn the oven on. Let's get the oven on, ready to warm it up. Turn it on full to 220 while we're getting the pastry and the rhubarb into the baking tin. So now we shall put that together. Don't fill it up to the top because it would get too... Spoon it out with a slotted spoon so you don't have too much of the juice, you get a little fruit in. You can also add extra fruits in there if you want. You can add a tin of cherries in there. You can add a tin of... I'm going to do some mixed fruits. Just keep putting that in there. See, that's the whole rhubarb, that's cooked. Okay, that's alright. You want to get some more in there. I think that's about enough. Any more than that and it's going to be all... It's going to overflow into... If you have a deep pan, you can put it all in. A bit more. Use your own judgment to get that right. Okay, and now what I'll do is... There's a tin of fruits that I poured the juice in the original. I'll sprinkle that over the top. Because this is already done, you don't need to cook this. Okay, it's all in there. And then we just spread it very carefully. Just even it out so it's not all in one place. And if you like a little bit of alcohol, just put a tiny bit of brandy on the top or a bit of rum. Not the essence, just use pure. Right, that's a little bit of ground cloves and just a tiny bit of cinnamon on the top. Just to give that extra bit of flavour. If I can get it out of there. Okay. And you can just put a tiny bit of brandy or a tiny bit of rum on the top of that. Now what I'll do, I'll get a pastry ready. I'll put the pastry on the top. Okay, I'm using the ready rolled pastry because puff pastry takes a long time. And I'm not really a very good pastry cook, so I'll usually buy the packet pastry. But if you're good at making pastry, please make your own. And this is already, this is already in sheets. All you have to do is roll it out. Let's see, look, there you go. It's in sheets. Roll it out like that. And to cover the size of that tray, I need to roll it out a little bit. So I'll do that. Move all this off there. Okay, I'm going to try and get this pastry over the top of this tray. I'm not a very good pastry chef, so please bear with me. Put it in there. And very careful. Voila! I managed to do it, right? Okay, now we'll have to seal it. Press it very, very carefully, just very gently, not too much. Very gently. Very gently. And press the edges down onto the tray pan, the baking tray, like that. And then use a knife and cut the edge, but when you don't cut to the edge because when it cooks it'll all shrink in, so just a little bit. Actually that should be enough there, so you go, actually use the scissors to be quicker, but don't take it to the edge because when it's cooked it'll all go into the pan. Just leave a little bit off the side. It doesn't matter if it gets a bit burnt. Do this all the way around like that. Like that. I'll come back to you in a minute. The extra bits, just do little patterns. Just put it in there, put it in there. These are the spare bits that you have a nibble on when it's cooked. Just get all that over there a bit. So just put it in there. You can make letters, you can put somebody's name on it, you can put a pattern. There you go, that's it. Put it in there. Okay, now I'm going to take it to the oven and then we'll have to turn the temperature down, right? Use it close, this is hot, right? Into the oven, close the door and turn it down to 180 and leave that to cook for 20 minutes. Okay, it's time to take it out. I gave it an extra 5 minutes in the oven and that's all done. So now I'm going to take it out. 1, 2, 3, go. And that is my rhubarb and apple pie.